The Tao of Self-Confidence, episode 237. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. Well, hello friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have a phenomenal lady on the show today. She is the creator of myhealthydish.com, which is a blog that's dedicated to her homemade healthy dishes, and I'm just really excited to have her on and share her story with us. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Nguyen. Mai, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to our listeners.
Hi, I'm good. So my healthy dish started so long ago, like 4 years ago. I know that sounds like a short time, but it seems like a long time to me. But I started my healthy dish on a whim. We were really down on our luck, and I was living with my parents, my husband and I, and our twin girls. We lost our home before I had the girls. We lost our jobs, then our home. And that's when we got pregnant with twins. That's how the universe works. And I had to stay at home. I was a stay-at-home mom and take care of those twin babies. And a way to save money was to be cooking at home. And I started this Instagram page, mainly sharing pictures of the girls and some of my food. And the food really took off, and light bulb moment. I was like, maybe I have something in here. Maybe something could be something, maybe we could start a job. So I looked into blogging, I researched it a little bit. I still have, to this day, do not know what blogging is. But so I kind of do my own thing. And I started really attacking Instagram and sharing recipes every day and just using my iPhone as, the photo, just taking photos with the iPhone. And it really took off. And within a couple of years, it grew to 1 million followers.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And that's amazing how, you grew an Instagram account with over 1 million followers, and it all just started with, an idea of sharing your recipes and, not even knowing where to start. You just started. And a lot of people think that you need fancy cameras to start taking pictures when, a smartphone is just, more than enough to actually take all these kind of pictures. So, that's really awesome and, great story that you shared. And what's your cultural background?
I'm Vietnamese.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And what would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
My favorite self-confidence is fake it till you make it. So here's this, my industry joke is people think they see a number and they see 1 million followers. They must think you're important, right? So there's times where I feel like, when is my 15 minutes is going to be up? And I don't feel as important as people make it seem I am, because to me, it's just a number, but to them, a number is very important. To me, I feel like content is king. Content is what makes you, as a creator. I'm a creator. So I don't look at a number. I see visually if my photos are stunning, my recipes are engaging, people are actually using them. And that's how I kind of measure success. And not just as a number. So when people talk to me, the insecurity I have is that when they roll out the red carpet, or they invite me to these events and they ask me to speak on a panel, I'm like, why do you want to talk to little old me, in my head? And I just have to pretend that I'm this important person that everyone believes I am. And, just walk up there and believe that you are this, intelligent person who knows all about nutrition and health. And I do, but in my mind, I still have that self-doubt because I feel like I got really lucky on Instagram with the social media and a lot of followers that I see there's so many other people who are so talented or they're not getting recognized. And I compare myself to them. And I think they're better. And I'm always competing against these people who are ready to take my place, And I compete and I compare myself to them. And by saying it and saying that you're important and trying to believe that I'm supposed to be here, I'm supposed to be on stage, I'm supposed to be talking to you, the more you say it, the more you're going to start believing it. And I do believe it now. I do believe that, okay, I have a cookbook now. There's a reason why people buy my cookbook, So that affirmation every day does help.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And, it's great, especially like for Asian women, it's so hard for us to kind of like put ourselves on a pedestal and like recognize all the stuff that we've done because, we've been programmed to just, never talk about your accomplishments, kind of keep it to the side, never make any noise. So, I mean, it's great that we celebrate every single success, whether it's your first follower or your 1 millionth follower, right? A follower is a follower. So, great quote. And in your own words, how would you define self-confidence?
I think that self-confidence is being comfortable who you are. Every day, it doesn't matter how you look, how you feel. You should be confident in your own skin, but also every day working towards a better self. And that's okay. Accepting that you're a work in progress, but also accepting yourself.
Awesome. And that's a great definition. I always believe we are all work in progress. We're always working to become better, better version of ourselves every single day. So, especially with self-confidence, it's something that we will always work on for the rest of our lives. So thanks for sharing that. And
yeah,
what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
I think that's a really good question. That I think when you don't have that self-confidence, you don't have that self-worth, and you always believe that everyone is better than you. So when someone walks all over you, you feel like you deserve it. In the workplace, when I did have a corporate job, I would always do more work than I should. I was always overcompensating for feeling that I wasn't valued there. And people will take advantage of you when they see that weakness, when they see like, oh, she'll do it. Oh, she'll do it because, if I ask her, she'll do it. And I know she'll do it. So people will walk over, people will take advantage of you and you allow it because you feel like you deserve it or that they're better. Not just in the workplace, but that also hinders you in life, because how can you be successful if you don't believe that you can be successful, that you don't believe that you should be there, or that you want that promotion, or that you want to move up in that ladder, right? And same thing with friends. Like I feel like I did over and beyond for my friends because maybe I didn't deserve those friends. So I did more. I would always help more with planning the parties and throwing the parties and, just being there and not getting the return for someone else, always being on the phone as a listening shoulder when they had a problem, yet I didn't have that reciprocation. So a lot of time was thrown away into relationships at work and in life that I feel like if I was more confident in myself, I could have been a better friend. I would have had better friends and I would have been more successful in the workplace.
Thanks for sharing that. And I think that's what a lot of most Asian women deal with, kind of overcompensating. Either they feel they're worthless or they feel like the more they do, the more they receive love from others. We've done it with friends, family, even significant others. And, we have to realize that we have to learn to love ourselves so we can realize the kind of love that we deserve, or, realize we're worth more so we can go and do bigger and better things. So like, what was that aha moment in your life when you realized that, you didn't have to do that anymore? You can just go out there and do your thing.
Back to the Asian part. I think our role models are our parents or our mom. And because I'm first generation, we came from Vietnam, and seeing my mom it's such a difference living here in the US. You kind of live in two worlds. So traditionally, it's the Vietnamese women who have to be kind of meek and always kind of behind the man, always in the kitchen. Even at, if you ever go to, this is something I noticed when I go to Vietnamese weddings with my parents, at that, the Chinese or traditional tables that they sit at, and they're serving the 10-course meals, and they come to the table. Every time they bring down the food and they place it in front of you at the table, my mom would never reach to get food. And I'm like, she would wait for my dad to reach and get her food for her. And at first I thought, well, that's very sweet of him to serve my mom. But now looking back, it's like more that it was the control of letting someone else control your destiny. Even though it's letting someone control what you eat and how much you eat, it's still that servitude of that respect of the man taking control and I think that kind of influenced me, seeing that that's how that we should be and at home and in life. But yet now, living in the US, my mom has blossomed and has her own business, and she's very successful in her own business. And that influenced me as well, you know? So I think having good role models in your life will give you not an aha moment, because I don't think there's one big aha moment. You know, I think it's just little ones that grow into a realization of self-worth, of confidence. So like those little things that I see, but also the relationship with my husband, who in the beginning, I was very insecure. I met him when I was 18, and he was my first boyfriend, had no clue, very insecure, always crying, very emotional. And he stuck by me. You know, I don't think a lot of men would have done that. And he stuck by me to these insecure moments where he would leave and it would feel like he would never come back. And he never thought I was crazy, even though probably in his mind, he thought I was crazy. But he built this confidence in me that I was deserving and I deserved his love. And now I'm like this, I feel like, I mean, that was slowly. I mean, it wasn't just, it's still a work in progress. And there's still days where I feel like I'm not that beautiful woman that he sees. But when he does tell me, I believe it. So just like my friends, I cut back on my friends. So like my role models, my mom and my family that I see all the time, and my husband who built that self-confidence, but also choosing my friends more wisely and cutting out the baggage. I started cutting out the people who I didn't get any growth from. It's almost, you got to look at your friends as a give and take. What am I getting from you? And what are you getting from me in return? And is my time that I'm committing to you worth it? Are you building something with me, a foundation with me? When I talk to you, are you listening? Or are you just waiting for me to stop talking so you could throw your 2 cents in? So I cut out a lot of my friends, and I don't have a lot of friends, but the ones that I have, I hold dear and dear to my heart. And that's what I want to commit my time to, is building those relationships. So your friends, your family, and, you know, your husband or relationship, all that combined. But the biggest, I wouldn't say aha moment, but the biggest moment that built my self-confidence is when I became a mom. Is that, hey, there's no book that tells you how to be a mom to these twins. And just giving them the love and getting that love in return, it's almost like watering a plant. You know, you just grow from love and you feel the confidence from love. All those things helped me build this business, because there's no way I would have been so confident and put my face out there to a million people and not be scared. But I know my self-worth, and having this business where I have to be on stage, where I have to be on video and I have to film live, that all of that doesn't scare me, because I know that people love me and know and respect me and want to hear what I'm saying.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And, you know, it's great that, you know, you had good role models in your life. You learned how to just get rid of toxic people. Sometimes it's kind of like breaking up with someone, you know, but
it really is.
But you have to, especially if it's for your, you know, sanity. Like if you want to become better, you have to let them go. And sometimes it's hard because it could be people closest to you. But I mean, because of doing that, you're able to have a successful business. You know, you are, you know, building a life for you and your kids and your family. And, you know, to the woman who's listening to your episode, she may be in a similar situation. What would be that one self-confidence tip you would give to her?
It's building self-confidence. It does not come from within. I feel like it comes from your environment. I feel like, reiterating what I just said earlier, is surrounding yourself with that support system. It's getting rid of the toxic people. Like look back in your life right now and scrutinize each relationship that you have and see if that person is bringing something to the table. Do they make you feel good? Do you feel good being around them? Do you feel are you getting something from them? Do you want something from them? There's always these things, but most importantly, are you respected by them? Those are the things that if you don't feel, you should cut those people out of your life. because they will drain you. They will drain you and drain your self-worth. Like if you don't feel important to them, eventually you don't feel important. And if this is what's your environment, this is what you're surrounded by, now flip that and have everyone who's around you who loves you and respects you, who praises you and supports and pushes you towards your goals. That alone will get you to the confidence you need to build on and build your goals, and they will help you. When you have a problem, if you go to them and say, hey, I am having so much struggle. I want to go to New York and I want to speak to publishers about my cookbook, but I don't know who to talk to. I'm kind of scared. What should I do? Maybe this is not the time. And this is the true story. My friend sat there for me for 3 hours and told me, Ma, you built this audience. People want to hear your voice. People want to see your recipes. For 3 hours, she praised me, and she gave me that confidence to hop on the plane to New York and sit down with Crown Publishers and Random House. There's no way I would have thought in a million years that I would sit in Random House and talk to publishers about my cookbook and believe that they would want a cookbook from me, unless I had that support system from my friends. And I walked in there feeling very confident. It's like, yes, I do have this audience. She was right. Yes, people do follow me for my recipes. Why wouldn't they want my cookbook?
Thanks for sharing that tip. And, it's great that, you have your friends as like your cheerleaders. And we all need cheerleaders in our lives, especially when we have those days when we're down or we feel like just hiding from the world. They're the ones that's going to help you, lift you up so you can do the things that you want to do, like your cookbook, which is, amazing. And, it's great advice. Like I always believe your surroundings are very important, right? Because they kind of influence you in a way to either, move up or, stay stuck at where you're at. So thanks for sharing that. And if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do, or maybe get a copy of your cookbook, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Right. So you can find, of course, my blog, myhealthydish.com, where all my recipes are. My cookbook, My Healthy Dish, is on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Target. And, of course, you can find me on Instagram, where everyone follows me, at myhealthydish_. And everything else is My Healthy Dish. Twitter, YouTube, now Snapchat. So I'm everywhere. You might get sick of me. Facebook.
Awesome. I'm sure the listeners will love to check everything out. And if you want to connect with Mai, you can also head on over to thetaoofselfconfidence.com and search for Mai's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about. And I really want to thank Mai for taking the time to share her story with us and tips on self-confidence. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
It was an honor to have you on the show. And listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of The Tao of Self-Confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com to check out cool resources, blog articles, show recaps, and so much more. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits.